So we are going to start now our weekly presentation, and we are going to cover how the markets closed this week. First of all, I'm going to start with the usual disclaimer, and that's just to make sure you understand that the things we are showing here, it's just an example of our courses, our training courses, and it's not a recommendation to buy or sell or anything. It's just a demonstration of what we teach, and I'm going to show some examples of what I did this week. I do not recommend trades. I do not sell trading signals, nor I manage other people's money. So it's what I did for myself. So let's move to NASDAQ then, and let's start with the Canadian index. Canada was open yesterday, so we had a little close high yesterday, a little bit higher than Wednesday, but very, very minor volume. That's why today the market also has a low volume, and it's basically because of the holidays yesterday. It's going nowhere today. The same is true for the North American markets. Yesterday there was no market, and today the volume is a lot less than Wednesday, and it's really going nowhere. For the last couple of weeks, 2 weeks, it's going nowhere. So myself, I'm really waiting. My trades are lighter than usual, but I still take my trade signals as normal because I do not trade my analysis. I trade my trading systems. I analyze the market just to give me an overall guidance, not to trade on a analysis that might not be right. I prefer to use my trading systems because then I know statistically how much advantage I have and what is the probability of making money. That's the NASDAQ. The NASDAQ has been stronger than the other indices, and the same for the last few days. Now at least I am following that trend line here. It will be a very important line. If we lose this line, then we will for sure test to that region here, and even we might test that region close to the 200 period moving average. And this S&P 500, we are moving the same way as the Dow Jones, sideways for the last couple of weeks. Volatility is not high, and the market is basically trendless. There's no predominant force in the market. Volume is going down. It's really a very low volume week in general. However, let me show the euro dollar. I always analyze the euro dollar, and I mentioned about this downward trend here, and when we broke through that line, my expectation was to trade higher. We traded to the 0.3282 level, and that means I was expecting another leg down. Now I can see here, basically we are in the fifth movement down, in the fifth movement or the third movement down, and let's see if last week we can finally do a last downwards movement before we trade up again. So at that point I'm expecting some downwards pressure, or in other words, the US dollar getting stronger until we test those levels here, 1.3. That's my expectation. So let's see if that will happen. I will not expecting this anymore if we can break above those levels here. It's quite far now, but that's the only way that I can see some change in that longer term view. This is a 1-hour chart of the Euro-US. Looking into the daily charts for the Euro-US, basically what we see is the real trend. It's downwards now. We had a 2-wave up direction, in my opinion, and now we are starting another 5 waves down that will last maybe several months. Before we go ahead with that 5 waves down, I still expect some upwards pressure, upwards movement, and let me rescale this. I still expect some upwards pressure here. In other words, the US dollar getting weaker, and that might be the Santa Claus rally in the stock markets. Let me show you 2 trades, or maybe if we have time, 3 trades I did this week, last week and this week. It was a turtle trade. It was the entry signal was like the turtles, but it's a modification that I developed specifically for the stock market, because the original system was created for commodities. So I developed a little modification of the system to enable its use in the stock market. So the first one is Netflix. Netflix gave an entry signal by the end of October, and depending on the strategy used, now we are reaching the first the partial points, the partial realization points, where we take some profits from the table and we leave the rest to continue. Or if we used a different strategy, that first trade was stopped here and the second one is proceeding now. It was a very nice signal, a gap signal, and we are proceeding the second trade, almost reaching the first part of the trade. The bad sign here is a decreasing volume, and that's way up, and that might just be of the way this week behaved, or it might be also a lack of interest in the market. Another one was Hansen Natural Foods. It's Natural Foods Corporation, and it gave some very nice signals in the past, like here, then here, and the last one I catched was here, and we now proceed in the trade normally. That trade here was the entry signal was given by 2 different systems, the turtle and another one that is an ADX system that I use. So it's proceeding very well in this trade. And the third one is Dynaquity, that gave an entry signal on Wednesday, just before the holidays, and it just continued its movement up today. So those are the last 3 trades I had opening. Because of the market, the way the market is behaving now, I'm mostly in cash, and that's how I manage my trades. One important message here is that way of really making consistent money in the market is not going for the big trade always, but going for those small trades and managing risk. If we manage carefully our risks, we will be able to consistently make money in the market, and in the long term be able to really have a good savings that will create wealth at last. Well, all those strategies, the trading systems I mentioned here, and how to analyze charts, how to create trade systems, everything is covered in our technical analysis and risk management courses. Another very important aspect of trading and investing is treating this as a business, and that's why we offer also a business planning course for traders and investors. It's very concise course, and it covers all the aspects related to investing and trading. So if you have any questions, you can just email me. My contact information is at my website. Let me put the website here again so everyone can see. And thank you very much for watching us today, and we will be back next week during the week with flash commentaries about the market, and on Friday with our weekly overview. Thank you very much for watching.